Good morning, Fighting Scots. It's April 16th. Today is our annual Scots Day of Giving, our fourth annual day, to be in fact. It is 18 hours and 53 minutes, but we're coming to you virtually as we have, but a little different than the past years. As you can tell, just by seeing the screen, normally I'm able to engage physically with the folks that we're bringing into these events, but we're all in our homes, our offices, trying to get adjusted to our new normal. But we appreciate all of you still joining us for this day of giving. But today, again, it's a little different. We're doing more of a day of engagement. So this year, this is our largest alumni event ever in the history. We're engaging with folks all across the country. We're seeing Monmouth Nation, Tartan Nation come together to celebrate all about Monmouth. So we hope you're going to engage with us throughout the day, whether that's following our social posts, whether it's reading the emails, engaging with your friends, your teammates, your colleagues, launching and hosting your own virtual events with your Monmouth family and sharing that back with us. We actually right now have a social challenge going on. If you go to the Monmouth College Alumni Facebook page, you can share your Monmouth moment with us. So please do that. If you want to follow in on just the other activity for the day, go to monmouthcollege.edu/Scots Day, and you can track our progress throughout the day. Again, this day is mostly targeted to just engage with you all and have a virtual event, but we do still have a need, and there is still a great deal of you who've asked how you can support. So you can also go there and make a gift to the day. We do have a current challenge going on. Any gift right now is matched dollar for dollar, and some generous donors have pulled together $54,000 to our advantage there. So please help us reach that goal and make a gift if you're able to. As I've mentioned before, I know a lot of you have been able to join us in our typical alumni event fashion, regional events across the country. You know, there we're able to provide great food, good drinks, and we always provide some sort of update on the college. Well, I can't provide catered food, and I'm not going to judge what's in your coffee mug right now, but I have brought with us some guests to join us. So we have our president of the college, Clarence Wyatt, and our Vice President of Academic Affairs and Dean of the Faculty, Mark Willhardt. So thank you both for joining us this morning.
That's our pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely, Hannah. Great to be here.
Thank you. Well, I want to just start with a couple questions. President Wyatt, things are a little different here on campus. Can you speak a little bit to our alums and our friends and give a glimpse into what the Monmouth experience looks like right now?
Well, yeah, a little different is certainly an understatement, Hannah, and it is both in some ways sad and but also gratifying. It's sad because our students aren't here. I've been on a college campus pretty much since I was 17 years old, and that's been a while. And I've said that there are a few places in this world better to be than a college campus in spring. And the trees are blooming, and the lilacs in front of Quinby House are starting to get a scent. It's a beautiful day today, but we miss our students, and that energy that they bring is not here. So that's the sad part. But the gratifying part is that we know good work is being done under difficult circumstances, and I know Mark will talk about that a little more specifically, but that's the way that everyone has rallied to continue the mission of the college through all of this is the really gratifying part for Logie and me.
Well, and as a great segue and follow-up, Dean Willhardt, can you speak to just how the faculty are adjusting from going from a residential liberal arts college, environment to now moving to their courses online remotely?
I don't think I have ever used the verb pivot as many times as I have in the past month. Our faculty, have done a 180. They've probably done 4 360s. They've ended up back where they need to be. The truth is that they have done a remarkable job of turning themselves from classroom teachers who are excellent at what they do to remote learning professors who are also excellent at what they do. I think that the difficulties, they're legion. We face technological limitations for our students. We face some technological limitations for some of our faculty. Part of what they have done is made a conscious decision to be professionals on campus, and then to separate and not have that technology at home. Well, now that we're all at home, by the way, doing the interview this way, we have some other voices that are going to be heard. Welcome to being at home for an interview. I was watching Good Morning America, and they lead off now by saying, we're all going to interview from home. I feel just like I'm on Good Morning America. Anyway, the faculty are adjusting remarkably well. So we are using Zoom as a primary tool for many of our things. At the end of the first 10 days of teaching, one of our professors had logged in 11,000 minutes of Zoom interviews. That is 7 whole days full of Zoom interviews with her students, her advisees. We have a number of faculty who are over the 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 minute mark already. They're using Google Classroom. Students coming out of high school now are really familiar with Google Classroom because most high schools and even middle schools, grade schools are using it. So we've picked up on that. The other thing that we've begun to use is Moodle, which we've had on campus as a learning management system. And so we've bulked all of those capacities up. And the faculty are taking advantage of that. I think that they are finding successes as they change their syllabi, as they realize that what they wanted to do, they can no longer do. So they find something different and better to do.
Well, and I'll give a big shout out to our faculty. From what we can tell, they are working so hard, and we just want to give our appreciation to all that they're doing to help our students still have this truly unique Monmouth experience. So our students similarly signed up for a residential experience. How do you think they're handling this change to remote learning?
Well, they still have a residential experience. It's just residing wherever they are. The difficulty for them is that for every faculty member, you are considering what formats, what platforms will be best for your course. Well, if a student is taking 4 different courses, sometimes they're overloading to 5, they have to adjust not just to whatever you've decided is the best, but maybe what everybody has decided is the best. And I think that's been the biggest challenge for most of our students. I think they're trying to juggle multiple different platforms, multiple different sets of requirements. I think the other thing that we found is that, and this is not surprising, we have a wide range of technological capability for our students. Some are in rural areas where there is no internet. Or very limited capacity. Some are in urban areas where they would have used free internet in restaurants, public libraries, in public places, because that's where they would have had their best connectivity. Well, because of the sheltering at home order, they can no longer do that. So what we're seeing students being remarkably versatile, but still struggling some, because it's natural that they're going to face some difficulties.
Mm-hmm. And I think that is, what everyone's facing a little bit right now. And we're not alone, and we also realize that. But we're also very anxious for the day we can welcome our students back to campus and have this place be vibrant and lively like it's intended to be. Kind of along those same lines, President Wyatt, we have a lot of spring events that we hold and traditions that are kind of sacred to Monmouth College at this time of year, especially for our seniors. Can you speak just a little bit to how the college is still trying to offer some of that touch and communications in these coming months?
It's happening in a couple of ways, Hannah. One of the things that we decided early on in the response to all of this was, and the phrase that we've used is to try to, as much as possible, replicate spring at Monmouth College. And certainly there are events that occur over the course of the spring. The first one and we're doing those virtually. The first one was this past Friday. The Greek Awards took place, and that went well. There was a lot of great participation in that. We're talking this morning about honors convo and how we're going to recreate that moment. Signing diplomas, Mark and I signing diplomas together. Certainly we've been talking about, and we'll have more information out soon about both the virtual commencement ceremony commemoration that will occur on May 17th. We'll have some details out about that later, or soon rather, and also some details about a physical in person on campus commencement ceremony in the fall. Really, every event that we're doing, the Scots Award, Fighting Scots Awards, we were talking about that this morning, and be able to do all of that virtually, and then some of the less official events. I understand that I think it was the Alpha Z's were supposed to have had their formal this past Friday or Saturday night, sometime this past weekend, and that several of them went ahead and got dressed up and shared pictures with each other on Instagram, and so it's that's in the midst of all of this, that trying to share together as much as possible, that that special thing that is spring at Monmouth College, we're pushing ahead.
Mm-hmm. And we're excited, today is just one of those examples. We're all coming together here virtually to recreate a day that we've had for the last 4 years now, Scots Day of Giving. And I think, again, trying to really make this our biggest alumni event, alumni and friends, students, parents, everybody coming together, is just kind of a testament to that this is possible, and it's something that we can do, and we're glad that everyone's willing to participate. And I'll add a little shout out right now. You can't see them in our normal headquarters that we have, but our communications team is doing a lot behind the scenes on a day like today and through all of this to help connect us, to help bring us together and help make these events possible. So we appreciate all the work that they're doing to connect us in this time when we can't physically be together. Exactly. I know Dean Willhardt also shared some of the challenges and hurdles that our faculty and students might be experiencing right now, but President Wyatt, are there any other things that you would add to that just kind of creating this new normal for Monmouth has affected the college campus or institution as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of uncertainty out there still, Hannah. I mean, there are we've talked about this some with on campus and among the senior staff and with some leaders of the faculty and staff and with the trustees, that they're even as we're starting to see some glimmers of a turnaround, some brief glimmers of a turnaround in terms of the disease itself. The biggest unknown is that we don't yet know how it's going to, how and at what pace it's going to subside. We don't know if there's going to be another wave of it come fall. We are hoping, planning to open as we normally would come this fall, but we're also preparing to continue remote learning if that is necessary, and certainly the effect on the recruitment of new students, the retention of current students. The economic impact of this crisis has been very sharp. We've all seen the numbers about unemployment. How quickly will that come back? Nobody knows yet, and then the effects that we'll have on that. Certainly the effects on giving. I mean, I think one of the really, again, to use the word, gratifying things about today, and really all throughout this crisis, has been the way that Monmouth College alumni and friends have continued to step up and support the college financially, and in many other ways as well. But that's one of the things that you and I in particular have been thinking about and need to continue to think about. And I think what it does is, in the midst of all of this, it gives us the opportunity to really reimagine how we can deliver what is the core power of the Monmouth College experience, which is that connection between and amongst faculty, staff, and students. How do we deliver that? How do we serve that? How do we honor that mission in what are profoundly changed circumstances?
Well, and as you said, it's actually not surprising to see our alums and our friends and parents of students come together and ask, how can we support? What can we do for Monmouth right now? We know you're not unscathed in this situation, and we greatly appreciate all of the folks out there who are joining today for that exact reason, and they want to support in all the ways they can. But maybe let's wrap up with one more question. What has been maybe downright surprising to both of you in this process? What is some little bits that you've uncovered or have been motivating or even uplifting through all of this?
I'll go first. So for me, the thing that I have been most pleased with is the level of cooperation that everybody has had. When faced with a crisis like this, you can hunker down and begin to build your own little fiefdom and control only the things that are around you. And nobody here has done that. Faculty and staff have been generous in their time. They've been generous in their ideas. They have shared information left and right, and it has been gratifying. Faculty are not notoriously great at change, nor do they do it quickly. And yet, I think what they have done here is they just sort of looked at it and said, okay, this is what we have to do. This is what we will do. And they have done it. And that is a spectacular process to turn around in what was essentially 10 days' time.
Yeah.
To turn everything that they had to do and to think about and to understand about teaching and to change it. Luckily, we are at a school with great teachers. And when you have great teachers, you can do that because they have so many tools and so many ways of approaching the education of young people that they can pivot on the dime. And they did it with great success. So both of those things, the cooperation, the sharing of information, and the ability to be successful in a brand new way is really, really gratifying to me, and I think speaks volumes about the power of this college.
Yeah, and Hannah, I would just echo what Mark said and expand it to everybody on campus and really throughout the Monmouth family. This has been an acutely challenging time. We're going to continue to face challenge going forward. And in times of crisis, people will show you who they are when they're under pressure. And the way that the entire Monmouth College family has rallied to all of this has just been, it is not surprising, but it is affirming. And I think we're all, now that we've sort of gotten through the acute part of this and have settled into what passes for routine now, we're all at a place where we're going to turn our shoulder into the wind and keep pushing forward.
Well, thank you both for joining me this morning and sharing a little bit of a glimpse into Monmouth College experience right now. I greatly appreciate it, and I know our Scots family out there appreciates the update as well. We still have a ways to go today. Again, it's still an 18-hour and 53-minute day as we celebrate Monmouth College, as we come together as a community and, again, try to create our largest alumni event virtually that we've ever had. So we hope you'll continue to engage with us, to watch our social posts on Instagram, on Facebook, all of our channels, and that you will go to monmouthcollege.edu/ScotsDay and track the updates there as well. Participate, share your own kind of personal plea to engage in the day. Again, we do have a need for support and appreciate all of those of you who've reached out and asked how you can help. You can certainly do that today by making a gift, especially to the Monmouth Fund, to support the college. So we appreciate all that you're doing out there to connect with us. Again, I appreciate both you, Clarence, and Mark, for joining me today for this little interview outside the normal we would typically do during Scots Day of Giving. But we look forward to coming back with more updates throughout the day. So thank you, Tartan Nation.
Thank you, Hannah.
Thanks, Hannah.